happy Halloween for those who celebrate it.
We're showing up different now.
The masks that we wear is also a reflection of who we show up to be on a daily basis.
I'm wondering if that's a Gemini thing.
My biggest form of therapy is crying.
I could so relate to all that.
Right? Because that's how I feel.
Welcome back to Gemini Soulcast. I'm your host, Sin.
And I'm your host, Rob. Welcome back to another episode here. And happy Halloween for those who celebrate it. We're recording this episode a little bit earlier. However, in the spirit of Halloween, number one, please be safe when you're out there partying it up or going to parades. And number two, when it comes to Halloween, a lot of us dress up in costumes. Right?
Yes, we do. We look for a costume.
We look for a costume. We do pretend, right? But I feel like a lot of times the costumes we wear, the masks that we wear is also a reflection of who we show up to be on a daily basis.
Yes.
So this is what today's episode is going to be about.
How you showing up, Rob? You showing up as yourself?
Right?
You wearing a mask?
I feel that sometimes I do wear a mask.
Me
For
too.
sure.
I think I do too sometimes.
What is it for you?
Oh, man.
Do you have your go-to masks that you put on from the closet?
It's like when I go to work.
Right?
Wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Not like with the people there per se, but the politics that comes into play when you work at a 9 to 5.
Definitely.
I feel like you got to wear a mask sometimes, and sometimes you don't agree with things, and you got to just be like, yeah, just to say yeah, but you really don't want to.
Right.
You know, in those types of situations.
Do you feel is it a way for you to, is that mask they put on at work, especially when it's about the politics of work culture, do you feel like that's a way for you to protect yourself?
I think it's a way of me protecting them from me. Sorry.
What?
Because sometimes I want to tell people about themselves or like really put the mirror to their face. But I work with a lot of, younger people too at times. And,
They get offended?
I feel like, we all have some kind of trauma. We do.
Yeah.
I have it. They have it.
We all do.
And I don't want to go around like triggering people and things like that. I try to be mindful.
So you wear a mask.
Not all day, all the time.
Yeah.
Depends on the situation.
Depends on the situation, but in a situation like this, it's more about protecting them from you because of how truthful you could be.
From my words, yes. From things that I might say to them, that can trigger somebody.
I guess in some ways I do that too.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. No, I wouldn't say a lot, but yeah, I definitely do that.
Sometimes.
Yeah. For me, that type of mask that I wear is a positive, joyful mask sometimes. I am a joyful person. I even have a shirt that's the sun. I like to radiate a kind, positive, bright, warm energy. But the times when I do put on a mask sometimes is when I might not be feeling so warm, bubbly, fun, and happy, but I feel like I have to be.
I'm going to say, I'm wondering if that's a Gemini thing.
You think so?
And the reason I say this is because I have been sad before. I have been depressed before. Like, I just go through it and nobody knows but me.
Yo.
Nobody knows.
That's me. I don't know why. I'm sorry if I keep slapping your hand, but that's because that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of conceal it.
Yeah.
We conceal it. And when people are like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm great.
Yeah.
Everything's good. And meanwhile, it's like I'm going home and I'm crying every night type thing.
I feel like we sometimes do that to protect other people. We don't want to burden other people with our issues, with what we're going through and whatnot. Satisfied.
Yeah, and then sometimes we don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, there are definitely moments when I don't want to talk about things.
I know.
Yeah, and it's not because I'm not processing it. It's because I'm feeling it so much already. And people can say, oh, well, why don't you just talk it out? But I'm like, look, I already talk it out so much in my own head.
Yeah.
Like me talking it out only makes me sadder about it sometimes.
Yeah, and we do get in our heads a lot, and then
Yeah.
we make a lot of assumptions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like all the stuff I talk about on freaking the TikTok lives. Like I
Mm-hmm.
tell people, you know, you take a little thought, right? And you keep thinking about it and thinking about it, and you keep feeding it and feeding it, and it starts to snowball. It starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And sometimes you just feel like, oh my God, is this really what's happening and whatever else? And it's not.
No.
Like, and if you don't have self-awareness, you can't really stop it from growing.
Yeah. I think self-awareness is always the first step to anything that you want to change and solve and heal. But I do have this, at least for myself, is that I can only talk about certain things for a certain amount of times before I feel like I'm just like repeating myself. And I get that some people need to just like verbally talk it out. That's why there's talk therapy.
Yeah.
Sure. But I also don't think talk therapy is for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and at least for me, it's like my biggest form of therapy is crying.
Yeah.
Physically.
You release a lot.
Yeah, it's not just me being like, oh well, I feel sad, because that happened to me recently, where like I was seeing somebody, you know, we saw each other for maybe 6 weeks. We fell right into it. I ended things, and even though I ended things, I still feel things. I had to cry it out. I could talk to somebody about it, and I did. I talked to my best friend. I talked to you about it. I talked to a few other folks. But after a while, I was like, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
And the thing that really helped me was I cried for over 20 minutes straight.
Wow.
And it wasn't just like tiny tears. I was like, it was like a hyperventilating, like visceral crying. Like tissue box, like snot everywhere. I ugly cry.
Yeah.
And it's the type of cry that I do alone in my own home. That's that part of that mask. So when I wear that mask to go outside, and I could be happy.
Yeah. I could so relate to all that.
Right?
Yeah, but you know, it's like we're ugly crying, we're going through it and whatever else, and especially when it comes to relationships. I'm so tired of that lesson. I'm so tired of these lessons. But you cry, and I recognize like, yeah, my soul is releasing and it's healing. It's healing itself. That's why I'm crying so much.
Yes.
But it's exhausting.
So exhausting.
It's exhausting. Yeah. And then, you know, sometimes you just have to let it happen. And that's the thing too. Like, we be letting stuff build up.
I think letting things build up is more exhausting.
Like, it's too much.
Yeah.
We let it build. And then sometimes we don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
We don't want to, you know, go there and whatever else. And then we start to people please. And we like, let me not rock the boat. Let me not upset this person or whatever. And it's like, man, it comes to the point that we just got to be like, nah, that's it.
Nah, because then number one,
I got to take care of me right now.
Yes, because otherwise you're exhausting yourself, because you're putting on this mask. You're putting on this costume that's not even you. You're wearing this armor, this hide, this skin that's just so tight, and you're sweating in it at this point.
Yeah, and you're acting like everything's great. Everything's cool. But no, when it starts affecting you like that, no.
Nah.
Something's wrong.
That's when you got to take off that armor. You got to take off that mask, take off that suit, and let it breathe.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of times it is just letting yourself cry, letting you feel. And I think the big thing is to give yourself permission and to create a safe space to feel these emotions as they are.
Yeah.
Because these emotions are going to pass like rain, like a storm. And the rain will come, and it's going to be a storm for some time. And then it's going to pass, as it always does. But if you block it, you're just going to keep creating this dam of water. And the moment something happens, boom. Then I think that's when it gets really dangerous and destructive.
Yeah. I think like we can also sometimes recognize the mask in other people and the way that they show up. And even in relationships, like if you have somebody that just agrees with everything that you say or you do, it's like, do you not have your own opinion on things?
Right.
Even in friendships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you not have your own opinion? Like, even when you and I have conversations, it's like back and forth.
Right.
Well, I think this. Well, I think this. But
Yeah.
then we'll tell each other, well, I don't agree with that. Well, I kind of don't agree with that. But
Yeah.
could you imagine if I just sat here and agreed with everything that you said?
I mean, there are definitely a lot of things that we align on. But even if there are things that we align on, there are going to be moments when we're like, maybe, nah, I disagree with that. Or even if we're talking about Gemini Soulcast or something like that, we could have different thoughts about when to release an episode, what the topic should be about, how the caption should be.
Yeah.
But that's because we've built that trust, we've built that relationship over time.
Yeah.
For that to happen. But there's people who've been in relationships for years and they're still wearing that mask.
Yeah. I've had experiences with friends and in the past where I felt like they, they were trying to be my friend, but at the same time, I felt like maybe they thought I can get them somewhere with what they were trying to create for themselves. And at first, when you experience something like that, it's like you're cool, right? Like we're cool or whatever. But then all of a sudden, it's like you start to see it, or you start noticing. Sometimes it takes a little while.
I think a lot of times it takes me a while because I'm sometimes in denial. I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, especially my friends, especially people I love. I will always give them another chance, especially if I know you for a long time. But after a while, like all it takes is just one big thing to crack, and then I'm like, oh, so this is who you really are. And it's painful to let them go. It's painful to I hate disappointing people.
Yeah.
So when that happens, I'm like, fuck. It feels bad. It really feels bad.
I'm just like, I get that or whatever, but I remember being told like years back. I'm talking about like before even Jade was born. Like I had a friend that once told me like, you always look for the good in people. And that has always stuck with me. And then sometimes it's like I question it, like, am I looking for the good in this person? Is this person really good? Like, does that ever happen to you? Like you sit there like, wait, how come I didn't see this before?
Yeah. Well, it's because I agree with you. Like I always see the good in people too.
Yeah.
Especially people who I'm friends with, especially if I have a good vibe about them. But then again, my intuition might not always be, my radar for good vibes, bad vibes might not always be right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they're wearing their mask or I'm wearing my mask. But after a while, you kind of start seeing things. And I had an incident earlier this year where I had a friend that I've known for over 10 years of my life. And an incident happened with that I had previously told her that I could do something, but then I ended up not being able to meet that obligation and that responsibility. And it sucks, but I felt gaslit. I felt like betrayed in a way. I'm sure she felt that way too on her end. She straight up said that I was a bad friend to her. I was like, whoa, where's this all coming from? And just a whole lot of things. I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah.
But that took so much out of me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, I've known you for so long. How come I didn't see this from back then?
Yeah.
And it was this, after that incident, I had this quote that kind of popped in my head. That was, if you want to be the hero of your own story, you got to be willing to be a villain in somebody else's story.
Yes. I think you told me that.
Perhaps.
When stuff was going on.
Yeah, I think it was because of that. And that's a lot of it's times because you can't please everybody. No matter how much of a people pleaser you are, you can't please everybody.
We can't.
So stop being a people pleaser. You're not helping yourself and you're not helping the other person.
Yeah, but it's hard to get out of that.
It is hard.
If that's who you've constantly shown up as, it's hard to like, it's the same thing. Like when we have to reprogram our minds.
Mm-hmm.
When we have to like, we're trying to level up or we're trying to manifest because, we're always manifesting.
Yes, that's true.
But we have to reprogram certain beliefs or we have to start showing up the way that we want people to perceive us.
Right.
Like if we're trying to be better, we got to show up better.
Right. And I feel like, we're talking about the masks as though it's a bad thing, a mask that we put on, a costume that we put on, but not all masks, not all costumes are bad. Yeah.
Right.
Think about a superhero. A superhero in the traditional sense, like you're Spider-Man, you're Batman, you're Iron Man, you have a mask, you have a costume on because once you put that on, you become that superhero. You put that cape on. And that's how you fight off villains. You're trying to be somebody that you're not yet, right? Maybe you want to be a CEO. Maybe you want to be a leader, but you're not there yet.
Yeah.
That is when you could put on that version of yourself. What does that mask look like? What does this costume of being a superhero or being a leader look like? And at first, it might not be the most cool costume. It might not fit you all the way, but you're going to put it on because you're going to show up on set, at work, to the people that you want to talk to as that leader or as that CEO or as that artist. And I think that's partially how we could get over that imposter syndrome, I think. Because when we feel like an imposter, we feel like we're a fraud, right? If you keep wearing this suit, it becomes a part of who you are. Just like if you, in a negative way, right? If you're so used to being a people pleaser, you're just so used to that. It becomes a part of you. You want to be, I guess in some people's cases, they don't want to work their 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
They want to be self-employed. They want to be a business person. Well, if you never own a business, your instinct is going to be, well, I'm not a business person.
Right. Comes down to your belief.
Yes. Reframing.
Right. You're reprogramming that. You want to show up like you are a business owner. You want to show up in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it does take some reprogramming. It does take, you recognizing that. There's people out here that know that they're doing bad things to people and they're only thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's how they're showing up.
Right.
And we can see it clear as day.
Right.
But then you have some people that show up and they're wearing that mask, concealing it up until a certain point. And that's the disappointing thing, because you think you got it right, and then they finally remove the mask, and then you see what's happening.
Yeah.
And that's the disappointing part.
Yes.
That's what it is, because you thought that you knew them, but in the end, you really didn't.
Yeah. And that could be anything from coworkers to friendships to relationships to marriages. And honestly, sometimes to yourself.
Hey. I mean, like,
Sometimes I think I know who I am, and then I realize that there's still more that I need to know about myself.
Yeah. I don't think that there's anything bad with the way that you said it, though, where we are putting on that mask. Like, we're showing up different now.
Yeah.
We're showing up to be that successful person.
Yeah.
Or we're showing up to be that person that's receiving all the love that we want. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is that you want or whatever, you're like, fully like embracing that.
Yes.
And you're becoming that, even though nothing's happening yet, but that's how you manifest too. You align with that.
Right.
You start showing up as if it's already happening.
Right.
It's already there.
Because look, if a lot of it's just preparation, it's how ready are you for the opportunities? If the bat signal's out there, boom, you better already have your Batman costume on, your Robin costume on.
Yeah.
Even if the signal's not up there, at some point that bat signal is gonna go off. So might as well put on your superhero costume, put on that cape, be the type of person that you want to become. You are the hero of your own story at the end of the day. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, you could. And a lot of times, as an actor, what I realized, I read this book. The first acting book that I read is called A Practical Handbook for Actors. And I remember in the first chapter, it said, your character is defined by your actions. We say that in acting. Whatever character that you put on, the actions, the behaviors that you use as an actor for this character, that is the character.
Yeah. But
in real life, it's the same thing too. If you want to be really rich, for example, or say let's just use that example. You want to be self-employed, right? You got to move differently. Obviously, you think differently, but your actions also got to reflect that too. That means, okay, I'm going to think. Even thinking is an action.
Yeah.
I'm going to brainstorm about my products, the ideas. Like, I'm going to talk to my friends about this. Like, I'm going to brainstorm some ideas for this. I'm going to maybe look into, say, who makes this type of product.
Right.
Can I go to the factory? Can I get direct from source? Can I get a white label for this? Like, what's going to be the brand? Let me use ChatGPT to kind of figure it out. That is you. By you reprogramming your brain, you're also taking action upon it. And the more actions that you take, your brain is rewiring itself. like
Yeah, you're
neuron
putting
pathways.
energy into it as well. You're putting that energy into what it is that you're trying to create for yourself.
Yeah.
You're planting the seeds.
For you, then, you're like, what kind of question is he gonna ask me? My question for you is, what kind of character do you want to become between now and the end of 2025?
Ooh, the one that's ready to have her thriving business.
Oh,
You already know. I'm not gonna say it on here because I'm keeping mum about the things I'm working on, but you know what I'm working on.
I know what you're working on. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you too.
I'm excited to take it on because it's not anything that's really out there right now.
I think what's beautiful is that you're taking the steps to do it. And when you're taking it one step at a time. And I think that is you getting used to this new costume that you're putting on.
Yeah.
To be able to have your own business and to be able to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah, because even yesterday, like even doing research on it, which what I was doing yesterday, like I was doing a lot of research on it, and I was just getting excited just by looking up stuff. That's how I know. That's really how I know too. I'm like, oh, my soul is really happy with this right now, and that's a sign. That's an indication you're headed in the right direction. And if it's something that you keep thinking about and you keep feeling it, and you know, this brings me joy. This is gonna bring me even more joy. You should take it upon yourself to put energy into that.
I think what you just said is so important because I find a lot of people our age, older, younger, I think it's a universal thing that a lot of people could feel lost. And when we're feeling about the type of person that we want to become, there are many people who don't know what kind of person they want to become.
Yeah.
We talk about masks. We talk about the costume. They don't even know what costume to try on.
Yeah.
Right? Well, number one, you just got to try it. Try on different costumes, see what fits you. But I do think the big thing that you mentioned is, does it excite you? Does it light you up?
Yeah.
If it lights you up, keep going in that direction.
Right.
And I feel like that's when you could kind of really find your groove and your path.
I feel like I love to hear you say that because I know that you've been there more than once. You're like, I don't know if I want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera or what, but every time you get in front of that camera, you're lit up like a Christmas tree, yo. Like you're like it's where you belong. Like you thrive on that. And
it's game time.
And it's also like, not only like, being an actor or being a creator or anything like that, but it's also coming up with the ideas. Like your creative juices, like, gets you going.
Yeah.
It lights you up. It brings you a lot of joy.
It does. And it was something that you mentioned to me too when we were in Puerto Rico. And I remember getting really emotional talking to you about it because you were telling me about like to not forget who I am.
Yes.
And to remember like what I bring and the light that I have, because sometimes I could have self-doubt,
Yeah.
But that's why I'm very grateful for you, not just as a podcast host, as someone that I work with, but as a genuine friend to always remind me sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. I think sometimes we need that. We
Definitely.
need to be reminded of what we bring to the table, of who we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, and especially when, and it's sad, but it happens to the best of us. It happened to me where, I was in a relationship for a long time where I was dimming my own light. They were dimming it and I was just staying there. And, thankfully I got to the point where I recognized like, oh, I don't belong in this. I gotta go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because we came here to do more. We came here to do things.
Right.
And we shouldn't play small.
No, we came here to play.
Right. And we shouldn't play, and it's not like we have to be in a rush with it either. Because again, wherever you are in your journey is exactly where you're supposed to be right now.
That's right.
And you can't lose sight of that. But most importantly, don't lose sight of you and how amazing you are and what you bring. Especially like when I said that to you, like I meant that wholeheartedly because I was like, no. whatever the situation is, I'm going to remind you, because nobody, not a person, a situation, nothing should get you to that point
Right.
where, you're feeling less than. You're not less than. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, no.
No, yeah.
And we have to remember that.
We have to, because I could forget sometimes. I could I'm very critical of myself. I beat myself up. There's a perfectionist mindset. And
Oh, I know.
as you know. And also self-doubt, the lack of confidence. So it's about like, how do I bring that back out? And it's that reminder of like, nah, like we all have gifts. Everybody has gifts. And part of that journey of living life is to, number one, figure out what that gift is for yourself, and be able to keep using that gift. God gave you these gifts. Use them. The world needs them.
Yeah.
We need them from you.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, figure it out what it is for you. What is it that you're doing? You don't even realize how many people you affect or have an effect on, whether it's in a positive way or a negative way.
Right.
Like, you just don't know. But when you actually take the time to learn about you and not focus so much on everything outside of you, you will start to see things more clearer.
100%. Oh, I love this. I love this. What a great way to kick off Halloween.
Yeah.
And getting deeper into the fall by talking about what resonates with us, the masks that are not good for us, and the costumes that will serve us well.
Yeah. It's funny too, because there was something that happened with me and my friends where I didn't really spend time with them this summer, and I felt like they were doing everything without me. And then I got invited to, a friend's birthday getaway, and there was somebody going that I don't resonate with. I'll just put it like that. The energy is way off. It's always been off. I've said this before. And I find out that person is going. So when I heard that, I said, well, I can't go.
Wow.
And in the past, I would have put on the mask and went and just dealt. But this time, I was like, you know what? Nah, I got to protect my peace. Because I don't need to put myself in that. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to take away from my love for my friend or anything like that, because I don't go on this getaway. So I had to kind of put myself first there.
You have to.
And instead of, I realize now, especially at this point, like, I'm like, I can't be fake. Like, I can't put the mask on and just go be fake and just keep everybody happy and whatever else. Like, no.
Right.
No, like, I will love you like I always do, but this I am not doing.
Right.
And guess what happened? So that person's mask fell off, because I just heard. And so now I was like, oh, well, Sin was right. And this isn't to be petty or nothing like that, but it's just, that just goes to show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt it strongly enough to be like, no, I don't want to surround myself with that. And everything took care of itself. It's like when they say the trash takes itself out. It's like that.
Yeah, I feel like speaking on things that like kind of take care of itself and things just kind of like fall apart, and like then you kind of see the real side. We've already came out of a eclipse season where certain things that were considered illusions or certain bad habits or certain people are clearing out of our lives. So now it's leaving room for who we're meant to become and the type of life that we want to live.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to kind of leave off at the end of this podcast episode is to kind of just let everybody know that whatever is not meant for you will pass you by and is meant to be left on the side. You don't even got to look back. Just keep moving forward, because the things that's meant for you will never miss you. The type of person that you want to become, the time that you have right now, between the end of October to December, you have this opportunity right now to become the hero of your own journey. So make use of this time. Never betray yourself. and always come in fully as yourself.
Yeah. And recognize too that nobody's saying it's going to be easy. Sometimes it takes some time, but if you're somebody who hasn't like spent time with themselves, you should do that.
100%.
Because there's also people that kind of decide to do everything so that they can distract themselves or take that time away from themselves. Spend some time with you.
Yeah.
Spend some time with you. Meditate, journal.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I love journaling. And
sometimes
meditating.
you just have to sit there like watching your favorite show, eating your favorite food, and you know, things will come to you anyway.
Yeah.
You know what
They're
I'm
like
saying?
your comfort foods, your comfort shows. Yeah. I recently like wrote down what they were because I kind of forgot what they were for myself. I haven't done it in a long time. Not consciously.
Yeah.
But then recently, as I was going through like heartache, heartbreak, and just feeling sad, I was reminded of myself, like, what are the things that are comforting for me? Even if I'm like, because I usually try to be healthy, right? I try to eat my four eggs, try to get my protein intake, intermittent fasting, all that good stuff. But I was like, you know what? Kind of craving some noodle soup. So I'm gonna get some noodle soup.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling that at that moment.
Yeah.
So it's like or listening to certain music. Like, okay, let me bring back to the early 2000s R&B. Like, and let me just belt out to Alicia Keys and like Usher, because that's my jam, right? I think it is so important. That's part of knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Finding what lights you up.
That's like, for me, I like to watch like old movies like The Goonies or like Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink. Like, I just watch certain films that bring me back to a time that was like easier, I want to say. You know what I mean? Or where when I think about it, I'm like, man, I really missed that time. You know, and I'll sit there and like watch something that kind of brings me back to that. It makes me think about that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing. I think that's what art does.
Yeah.
Art, music, movies, it just takes you back to that time of who you were back then. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So yes, we love this.
Take the masks off, y'all.
That's right.
Be yourselves.
Be yourself.
We all have to do it, though. We all do.
Right. And decide what kind of person you want to become.
Yep.
Right. Please write down in the comments, what is your favorite moment in this episode? Also ask us any questions, topics that you want us to cover, guests that you want us to have on as well.
Yeah. Share with us, like, what's, why you wear a mask sometimes, whatever it is.
Right. Talk to us. We read all the comments. But yeah.
Check us out, IG, TikTok, at Gemini Soulcast. Right here on YouTube.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I'm your host, Sin.
And I'm your host, Rob. And this is Gemini Soulcast.